Great day. Great day to you. Great day to you, also to you. What a wonderful opportunity it is to be able to come and to have another beautiful moment. Yeah. A beautiful day to be alive. A beautiful day to do life again. To do it better than what we did before. It feels good. The season has changed, so it feels good. Things are growing and blooming. Things are flying around, and so it feels good. The sun is shining bright, so it feels good. You can hear the lawnmowers. It's time for grass to be cut, because grass is now growing again. Yeah. Let's jump into that thing. Process. The purpose, the meaning, the significance of process, which can become difficult because a lot of times we are not used to process. We can become accustomed to it just happening. 2 to 5 minutes, it's just happening. We're in such a microwavable moment where you can have a gourmet meal in 3 to 7 minutes. Whereas back in the day, great-grandma, she will prepare the meal for Sunday on Saturday. A whole day preparing for the next day. Process, yeah. Process in cooking and preparing something that's going to be nourishment to the body of the family. Process. It's difficult at times depending on how you look at a thing, because there's a time and there's a season for everything under the heavens. Yeah. For we know all things work together for the good of them that have a connection, a relationship with God. And for those that are called, those that have purpose, meaning, significance for this time and this moment, all things work together. Process. There's a process. There's a process of being planted, being born, after being born, growing up and developing, developing into a child, then growing up, becoming a teenager, growing up, becoming an adult, growing up, becoming mid-age, growing up, becoming an elder, where then you at a place or at a time where you're old, much older than what you were when you first started. So what you have to do now is prepare for the great sit down, the great retirement. And some have to prepare for the great departure. Process. It's a process. It's what you have to go through in this thing called life. Process. Yeah. And everything has its process. Everything has its steps. The significance, the importance, the purpose of process is to be able to cross the T's and dot the I's. It's like in developing a production. You're in a play. You don't just think of a play and put it up or put it on tomorrow. There's a process. You got to work that thing out. You got to get the script. You got to run copies of the script. You got to give the script to the individuals, choose what role that they will play based upon how they auditioned. You got to bring the whole production team together. Because now you got to build a set. Now you got to deal with lighting. Now you got to deal with sound. Now you got to deal with music. Now you got to deal with movement. The individuals that's in the production have to learn the lines. There's a process. You're sitting down at the table, you're going through the lines, you're making sense of the production, you're making sense of the scenes. So that's one understanding. Then you put the script down once you kind of have it to memory, and you put the script on its feet. You begin to process through which way you should stand. Should you walk? Should you run? Should you fall? Should you crawl? Process. The process is important because it gives you a level of understanding of what it is ultimately. Everything in life has a process of development, a process of maturing. Yeah. You was implanted in your mother. Once you was implanted in your mother, now you go through the process of being and growing and developing and becoming. That's a process. You started out in kindergarten. Some people did pre-K. You went all the way up to 12 years of schooling. Process. Part one.